morning to everyone. Let us will start. In the last class, we had finished about the vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum in connection with the ending of the ascending colonna and the beginning of the water, that of the transverse colonna, by the left portion of that of the right portion of that of the mesentery, when it will be covering the medial part and the lateral part, and as well as the front part of the ending of the ascending column, and then the transverse mesocolon, which will be there at the beginning of the right part of the transverse column. They together runs and forms the right colic flexure. From that, the vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum, it will be going to run under surface of the right dome of the diaphragm, getting to form right colicophrenic ligament. Colicophrenic ligament. So this is what the vertical. Then we will move towards the water medial aspect of this, where you will be going to have a porta hepatis. Now this porta hepatis is said to be as a water that is the gateway for the liver, where you know that the lesser momentum content is the portal vein, hepatic artery and the bile duct. Bile duct, it will be going to come out from the porta hepatis, and then it will be going to form the water that of the, you can say, right and left hepatic duct, and that right and left hepatic duct, it will be going to form the common. Then you will be going to have the water that of the, you can say, cystic duct, which will be there coming from that of the gallbladder, neck. From that it will be going to have a water that of the, you can say, bile duct, which will be going to form after the common duct. So at this point we have got the water that of the, you can say, from the inferior surface of the right lobe of the liver, where it is totally covered by the inferior layer of that of the ligamentum teres of liver, when it will be going to run, and then it will be going to fix in the water that of the fissure for the ligament lesser momentum there, that will be going to come from the water that of the, where you can say, this right part of the water that of the porta hepatis, and then from the left part of the porta hepatis, which will be there under the surface of the right dome of the diaphragm, that will be going to cover. Then from that you will be going to have a dorsal flap of the water that of the lesser momentum. They together attaches to vertically downwards after running. Now that is called as hepatocystic ligament. These are also a vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum, and then it will be going to cover the anterior surface by the water that of the ventral flap, coming from the water that of the porta hepatis to the water that of the neck of the gallbladder, and the ligamentum venosus, which will be there, that will be the dorsal flap, which will be going to come and then covers the what anterior surface of the neck, but in between the porta hepatis and the vertical disposition of that of the visceral layer of the peritoneum, which is extending from the left part of the water, the right part of the water that of the porta hepatis, and the left part of the porta hepatis, they have got an angulation. Now this angulation is called as a Murison's pouch. So this is what you will be very much important when you will be going to have any of the, you can say, stone in the gallbladder, when it will be going to come out from the water that of gallbladder itself from the fundus body and then into the neck, it may have got the chance to get lodged in the Murison's pouch. So this is what this Murison's pouch, it may not be a Murison's pouch, but pouch is called as what? Pouch of Hertzmann. Pouch of Hertzmann. This is a pouch of Hertzmann. Hertzmann's pouch or Hertzmann's sac. Sorry that it will be the not the pouch of Murisons. Now you will go to the what Murisons pouch. Murisons pouch is a pouch, or Murisons pouch or the pocket or the socket is the one which will be running from that of the, where you can say, right upper pole of the kidney to the under surface of the right dome of the diaphragm. Now this is called as hepatorenal ligament. This is also the vertical disposition of the water, that of the visceral layer of the peritoneum. So this is called as a kidney, right? Now the pouch or the area between the upper pole of the water, that of the, you can say, right kidney towards the medial aspect, along with the water, that of the, you can say, suprarenal, and then it is attaching to this. This is called as Murisons pouch. Murisons pouch or Murisons races. Now these races are important because to collect if any inflammatory process is going on for that particular organ, in that fluid will be going to get color. So this is the vertical dispositions. Now you will be going to have one more vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum. So that will be there. You consider as a what, that of the, this is what the first part of the duodenum, and this is the what, the second part of the duodenum. Now from the lower part of the water, that of the stomach, pyloric, to the what, upper border of the first part of the duodenum. It is a vertical disposition which will be running from the what, inferior part of the pyloric part of the stomach to the what, upper border of the what, first part of the duodenum. This is gastroduodenal ligament, that is superior gastroduodenal ligament, vertical. And then you will be going to have one more ligament in this connection. Now so this will be the what, head of the water, that of the pancreas, head of pancreas. Now so here from this to this inferior portion of the what, first part of the water, that of the duodenum, to the what, upper part of that of the head part of the duodenum. This is called as superior pancreatico-duodenal ligament. Then you will be going to have one more ligament. Now after this you will be going to get covered by this, and it is attaching to the water, lower border of the water, that of the, you can say, first head of the pancreas to the upper border of the water, third part of duodenum. So this is called as inferior pancreatico-duodenal ligament. So this is a vertical dispositions. Now after having had this, now we have to go to the other ligaments which are there in the water, that of the abdomen. Now in the abdomen, when you have taken, after knowing this, you will be going to get some, you can say, other things. Now those other things are there. You should know the what, get acquainted with the different part of the water, that of the pancreas. Now so this is the what, head, and this will be the what, neck. Now neck further proceeds as a body part of pancreas. Now after having had this, now you will be going to get the other portion of the water, that of the pancreas itself. Now that thing you have to deal separately. Now so there, what are the things are there, we will see. Now so this is what the body continues, and then it becomes a tail. Now this tail is attached to the spleen. Now it will be the what, like this way it is there. Now so it is called as pancreatico-splenic ligament or pancreatico-renal ligament. Renal is another name for that of the, you can say, spleen. So pancreatico-renal or pancreatico-splenic ligament. This is definitely, it is, one will be the what is saying straightway it is a transverse, but it is little bit obliquely. So you can consider either the water transverse or the water that of the vertical, but because it is running little bit more of what little obliquity, so you can consider as a this is a vertical or the longitudinal, or rather you can put it into the what transverse, no problem. So this is what the thing you will be having at that point. Now let us we will see further what are the things of the what vertical dispositions. Vertical dispositions. Now vertical dispositions further you will be going to get to the water that of the this is the water cecum. This is the cecum. Now this is what the terminal part of the ileum. This is the terminal part of the ileum. When the terminal part of the ileum, so ileum will be having a mesentery. So this is the mesentery. Now this will be going to get attaches to the water that of the you can say superior part of the water, that of the terminal part of the ileum to the medial border of that of the cecum. So this is called as iliocecal ligament. This is also the vertical dispositions. From the lower border of the water, that of the where you can say terminal part of the ileum to the medial aspect of that of the cecum. This is also it is called the iliocecal ligament. So this is the superior iliocecal, this is the inferior iliocecal ligament. So these are the vertical. And then as you know, there will be a one finger like process will be there. So this is called as appendix or the vermiform appendix. Now for this vermiform appendix, once again you will be going to have the from the terminal part of the ileum, one will be running. So this will be the water, definitely the mesentery part running into the water that of the anterior surface and the upper and the lower. Then it will be going to get attaches to the superior part of that of the you can say appendix. Now this is called as superior, not it is called as ilioappendicular ligament. Ilioappendicular ligament is a fold of the vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum, the one which will be running from inferior surface of the terminal part of the ileum after getting covered by the water that of the mesentery, anterior part and the upper part and the lower part, and it will be going to run towards the water upper medial part of that of the appendix. This is called as ilioappendicular ligament. Then from the water that of the you can say medial part of the water that of the cecum to the water appendix, one more ligament will be going to run. Now that will be the water after covering the water that of the cecum by the right portion of that of the mesentery, it will be going to run to the cecum medial part, and then it will be extending to cover the upper medial part of that of the appendix and then the anterior part of the appendix. This is called as cecoappendicular ligament. Now this is superiorly, it is called as superior cecoappendicular ligament, vertical dispositions. Now from the inferior part of that of the cecum to the water that of the appendix, there will be one more ligament. Now this ligament is called as the inferior cecoappendicular ligament. So this is what the vertical dispositions. Now already in the connection with the water that of the salpinx means that of the fallopian tube. Now when this salpinx, it will be there covered by the water that of the you can say visceral layer of the peritoneum. For this you can say uterus and sends it you can say sleeve to the right and left part to cover the water anterior and the water upper and the water lower and the behind portion of that of the small behind portion of that of the fallopian tube. It forms the mesoappendix. Now that mesoappendix, it will be not going to run straightway vertically up, but it will be going to run upwards and then backwards. So it is called as a vertical disposition, which is said to be as a what? Mesosalpinx. Now this mesosalpinx attaches to that of the posterior and lateral wall of the true pelvic cavity, and then thereby it covers the ovary. Now after getting covered to the water that of the, you can say, ovary, it will be going to get attaches to the water that of the ovarian fossa, which will be there on either side of that of the fallopian fibrated end. So to the ovarian fossa, this will be also not, you can say, straightway transverse, but it is little bit running, you can say, obliquely and then little back. So it is called as a vertical. Now so that ligament is called as a mesovarian ligament. So like that. So you will be having, these are the what other you can say vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum in connection with the water salpinx and as well as the water ovaries. In female, salpinx means fallopian tube. So this is what the vertical dispositions. Now you will be going to get the water, something about the water vertical disposition only, but in connection with the water that of the apex of the water, that of the urinary bladder. Apex of the urinary bladder, which will be going to vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum when it is covering the that of superior surface of the urinary bladder. Then it will be going to run dips into the, and then it goes into the water retropubic space, and then it will be going to attach to the water umbilicus by means of 2 5 ligaments. Now those are called as what is said to be as umbilical ligaments. Now umbilical ligaments are, one is median and 2 medial and 2 lateral, where in which you can say have got the umbilical vessels. So this is what there. Now in case of the water that of the male, what you will be going to have vertical dispositions. Vertical disposition in case of the water that of the male, you will be going to have seminal vesicle to the prostate, which will be going to run after covering the seminal vesicle to the prostate. Now this is called as, now here, vesicoprostatic ligament, vesico-seminal vesicular ligament. Then from the prostate to the water that of the urinary bladder neck, that is called as vesicoprostatic ligament, after covering the entire infralateral surface of that of the, you can say, urinary bladder by the visceral layer. So this will be the what vertical dispositions. Now these are all the things that what you should know about. Now after having had this, you can say, ligaments which are there of the vertical type. Now these vertical type will be going to form what is said to be as, its a pattern of running is either the longitudinal vertical in the what abdominal cavity in male and in female, giving rise to the what some folds or some ligaments. Then in case of the what pelvic cavity, separately in the what female and in the male, they will be also going to have the vertical dispositions. Now so these vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum, why these are there? These vertical dispositions are there only to support, to be those organs in that particular quadrants of the abdomen. So they should not move when, you can say, movement of the body will be there. Now so that is the thing. And you have heard about the what some pouches such as Hertzmann pouch and the what Murison's pouch to begin with. And also you have already heard that retrouterine pouch, retrovesical pouch, retropubic pouch in the retropubic space. These pouches are meant for to collect the water, some of the fluid when the inflammatory process or any of the, you can say, abnormal physiological activities are going on. So these are the things where you will be going to get. And you will be having another important thing one must know. That will be the what you have got the another, you can say, dispositions. Now those another dispositions are said to be as the horizontal dispositions or present in the what? Abdominal cavities. Definitely for the what vertical also you should know, but along with the explanation it will be continued, so you will be knowing. Now you will be going to have the water that of the, you can say this is, now we will go to the horizontal disposition of the water visceral layer of the peritoneum. Often they are the very few comparatively in the abdominal cavity proper. Now those things you have to have a water. Now this is the stomach. This is the stomach. Now this stomach has got the water that of the, where you can say one organ which will be there behind this. Now this is what is said to be as the spleen. Now this spleen is also called as a liena. But the spleen, when you are talked, you will be going to have the water ligaments for the water that of the spleen. Now so there in that connection, there will be a what, one ligament which will be there behind the water that of the greater omentum, which is formed by the water that of the, you can say, ventral flap of the lesser omentum, as well as the dorsal flap of the lesser omentum. Behind this you will be having one ligament. Now that ligament will be running from the water that of the greater curvature of the water that of the stomach by its postero-inferior surface of the gaster or the stomach and attaching to the water spleen. This thing is called as gastrosplenic ligament. Now this gastrosplenic ligament, it will be going to run from the water that of the very close by to the greater curvature of the stomach from the posterior-inferior surface, where the dorsal flap and the what, ventral flap of the lesser omentum, after covering, it will be going to give rise to the water greater omentum. This is the greater omentum. From that it will be going to run, and then it will be going to run and attaches to the visceral surface of the spleen. So this is called as gastrosplenic ligament, in which short gastric artery and the branches of the water short gastric artery such as splenic artery, everything, it will be present. Along with that, splenic veins are there, splenic group of lymph vessels, and the water fat areolar tissue, and then the sympathetic nerve filaments. Now these sympathetic nerve filaments coming from the water that of this bodily segmented part, that is by the spinal nerve, and the water vagus. Vagus is by the water cranium. So like that it will be the thing. Now this is the first horizontal. So you are talking this, the meaning itself, it is transverse. So after having had this, now you have to go to the water that of this duodenum. This is what the duodenum. Now duodenum in the C-shaped curve, you have got the head of the pancreas is attached. So this is the head of the pancreas. Now this head of the pancreas, now once this ventral flap, dorsal flap, it covers, and then this is the greater omentum. Then from the water medial surface of the water second part of the duodenum, medial part of the second part of the duodenum, of the what? That of the visceral layer of the peritoneum. So this is. Now this you can say attaching to the what? That of the second part of the duodenum to that of the head of the pancreas. So this is what you will be getting into. So this is the horizontal. Now coming to the what? You have got a spleen here. This will be the head. This will be the neck. This will be the body. And tail will be going to get attached to the spleen. Which will be there like this. So this is definitely, it is called as pancreatico-splenic ligament, or it is called as pancreatico-lenal ligament. So this is not straightway attaching to the water transversely to the water that of the spleen, visceral surface. Little bit oblicity is there very close by to the hilum. So it might be said to be as preferably it will be going to come into the water vertical, but in some it has been mentioned as the water transverse. You can put anyway either the transverse or the horizontal, that thing suffices. So this will be the other horizontal dispositions of the water, that of the visceral layer of the peritoneum. Now you will be going to get into the pelvic cavity. Now in the pelvic cavity, in male and in female, you will be having, this is what? The tip of the coccyx. Now from this will be the ligament horizontal, which will be there as from the coccyx to the water, that of the anus. This will be called as anococcygeal ligament. Anococcygeal ligament. Then you will be going to have the water from the, in case of female I am talking. Now here from the water, that of the ending of the rectum to the uterus cervix. Now that is called as, here this is a horizontal disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum, which is called as recto, not retro, recto uteric or recto-uterine ligament. And from the water, that of the uterus cervix to the what? Urinary bladder. So this will be the utero-vesical ligament. Then from the urinary bladder to the what? Pubis, pubo-vesical ligament. Then you have got, these are the things. Then transversely also they are there. Transrectal ligament, which are running transversely on either side for the rectum. Then in case of female, transcervical ligaments, right and left. Then in case of female, you will be having, even in case of male, transvesical ligament. Then let us will go to the what? Male. In the male, as usually the rectum is there, which will be there similar to that of the, you can say, rectum in female. You will be having a anococcygeal and rectal ligament. Here also you have got this anococcygeal and rectococcygeal anococcygeal and ano or rectococcygeal ligaments, and also the transrectic ligament. Then in case of male, you will be having a recto-seminal vesicular ligament, recto-prostatic ligament. Then you will be having from the prostate to the vesico-prostatic ligament, and from the that of the, you can say, urinary bladder, neck to the pubis, pubo-vesical ligament, and then pubo-prostatic ligament, and then from the prostate on either side, right and left, transprostatic ligaments. Then for the seminal vesicle, transseminal vesicular ligaments are present. These are the transverse ligaments of the that of the, you can say, horizontal transverse ligament folds or transverse disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum in connection with the female and the male respectively. So this will be the thing. After having had this, now what must you have to have? You have to go to the shift your topic to the this whole thing to the some other areas. Now those some other areas are what? In concern to what? Let us will see. But before going for that, there will be a one ligament that will be not of a transverse, but it is of a vertical, where I have forgotten to tell about. So if this is the kidney of right and of left, so there will be a suprarenal glands. There will be a vertical disposition from the kidney to the suprarenal gland. So those are called as a reno-suprarenal ligaments. Reno-suprarenal ligament, where inferior surface of the that of their respective suprarenal glands are capping over the upper pole of the respective kidneys. So that will be the reno-suprarenal ligament or suprarenal ligament for right and for left, where I had forgotten to tell about the vertical disposition in a hurry. So please make it a point that has to be added in. Now after having had this talk, now let us will see one cavity will be available. Now what is that cavity? That cavity is called as pleural cavity. Now what is the pleural cavity? Pleural cavity is nothing but it is a potential space between this is the parietal part of the peritoneum as well as the that of the visceral part of the peritoneum. So this is the visceral. So I mean to say here red and purple. So this is called as a pleural, I mean to say peritoneal cavity. PC. It is a peritoneal cavity. Now in this peritoneal cavity or the space which will be there throughout the that of the, you can say, abdominal cavity proper in male and in female, as well as the that of the pelvic cavity in female and in the male, with the difference that is called as peritoneal cavity. Now in this peritoneal cavity, very minimum amount of fluid will be there. That is called as a peritoneal fluid. Now this peritoneal fluid in the normal, it is clear substance or the clear fluid which will be transparent, but as if anything is disease is going on, this will be going to get a different physical properties. That is the one. Second, the quantity is also going to get increased because of the process of the water, that is the inflammation. Of that, any one organ or two organ or multi-organs. So that is the disease when it is occurring for that abdominal organs. Then sometimes there will be a water because of the inflammation of that organ also, and then if there will be a inflammation because of the water trauma or because of the water some injury to the any part of the water, that of the peritoneum, either the parietal or the visceral. Preferably it will be going to start with the parietal, because stabbing and all, it will be the first visits to that parietal and then it comes to the water visceral. But if any, you can say, inflammatory process or disease is there for the organ or any viscerals, it will be going to first taps the visceral part of the peritoneum, either the water vertical or the water that of the horizontal, which will be going to get covered on those organs which is affected, and then it goes to the parietal part via increasing the water fluid, parietal, I mean to say increasing the pleural fluid thereby or simultaneously. So this will be the thing where you will be knowing about the water, peritoneal cavity and the peritoneal fluid which is present in peritoneal cavity, that is the peritoneal fluid. Anyway, in the abdominal cavity proper or in the pelvic cavity proper, in female and in the male. So this is the thing. Now after having heard this, here only we should know about what is an importance of that of the folds or the ligaments. Why that ligament should be there or why that fold should be there, dividing itself into the vertical and then into the horizontal or longitudinal and the transverse. So why these should be there? Because there are many organs in the water, that of the abdominal cavity proper and in the water pelvic cavity in female and in the male. So these organs, if they don't have a support by each other, they may be going to fall in any of the quadrant at the time of the normal movement of a water, that of the body. Liver will be not going to stay as because it is a solid. There in the right hypochondria, it will be falling down when the person is standing erect. When the person is turned on the water, right or left side, left organs are coming on the water, right side, if the turn is there on the right side and the vice versa is true. So like that way, one organ will be going to dash with this another organ in the process of bodily movement. Because humans has to move from one place to the water, another place. For the water survivability, he has to walk, he has to ride, he has to bend to take something. So at that moment, these things will be the thing where you will be going to have one. Second, these you can say folds, as well as the what parietal and the visceral. Then all these things, they will be going to protect the organs from the external invaders. This is another second. Then after getting an idea about these things, you have to go to the water. How many races the peritoneal cavity will be going to have. Now before knowing what is the races which are there in the peritoneum, you should know what is the meaning of a races. Races means they are the pockets. They are the sac. They are the poses. Even they are called as a water bursaries. Rather, bursaries are called as a omental bursaries. Omental bursaries. Bursae means they are the protruded part of the water, that of the peritoneal fluid. So you will be going to have the water greater omentum and the water lesser omentum. Now we have to go to the water first lesser sac. Lesser sac is a sac, the one which will be present, behind the water, that of the, you can say, dorsal flap of the water, that of the lesser omentum, and posteriorly and below to the water, that of the posto-inferior surface of the stomach, but in front and medial to the visceral surface of the spleen and the left crus of the diaphragm. That is called as a water lesser sac. Now what is the greater sac? The greater sac is the sac, the one which will be present, in front of the water, that of the, where you can say lesser omentum, that is the ventral flap of the lesser omentum, as well as anterosuperior surface of the stomach, but below, little behind the under surface of the right dome of the diaphragm, and as well as under surface of the inferior surface of right, partially the left lobe of the water, that of the liver. So that is called as the greater sac. So this is the greater sac, this is the lesser sac. Greater sac and the lesser sac, they are communicated by means of one foramina. Now that foramina is called as epiploic foramina. This epiploic foramina is also called as foramina of Winslow, where from the greater sac to the lesser sac, things, if it is collected, any fluid, that may transfer. So this is the thing what you will be having very close to the cardiac orifice of the stomach at the level of 10th thoracic. Okay, so this is the thing where it will be. Now you will be having the what greater sac also is greater sac. So this is the greater sac. So this is the lesser sac. Now you will be going to have the what other, you can say, things which has been already told along with the what vertical disposition, that is called as pouch of Hertzmann. Pouch is another name for fossa versus sac of the pocket. So now this pouch of Hertzmann is the water. It is the pouch formed by the water, neck of the water, that of the urinary, neck of the water, that of the, you can say, gallbladder, to the water hepatocystic ligament on either side. So that is called as the water pouch of Hertzmann. So this will be there very close to the neck of the gallbladder, and then it is formed by the water medial and the lateral surface of that of the neck of the gallbladder to the water porta hepatis. So this is fourth, Murison's pouch. Murison's pouch is a pouch, the one which will be there upper pole of the water, that of the kidney, right, to the under surface of the right dome of the diaphragm or the right part of that of the porta hepatis, which that vertical disposition will be there, that is called as hepatorenal right. Vertical disposition. From that to the water, upper border of the upper, you can say, pole of the right kidney. So that angulation. So this is the upper pole of the right, and so this is what? The right part of the water, that of the porta hepatis. So this angulation is called as the Murison's pouch. Now you have got the one more pouch, fifth, mesenterico-parietal pouch. Mesenterico-parietal pouch. So this mesenterico-parietal pouch is a pouch when that you can say transverse mesocolon. So this is the transverse mesocolon. This is the transverse mesocolon. Now this transverse mesocolon, the one which will be formed by the water, superior layer of the ending of greater omentoma, and the inferior layer of the water, that of the greater omentoma, comes and meets to the back portion of that of the transverse colon, and from that it will be going to run little backwards and straightway upwards to reach to the parietal part of the peritoneum, which will be going to cover the water remaining and internal aspect of the posterior abdominal wall, leaving some of the organs behind that parietal part of the peritoneum, so to give rise to the retroperitoneal structure. So at that angle, this thing is called as mesenterico-parietal pouch or the pocket. The meaning is same. Now after having had this, so you will be going to the water. Some you can say things which will be there on either side of that of the water, duodenum and pancreatic. Duodeno-pancreatic pouch and pancreatico-duodenal pouch. And then you have got the water stomach to the water, that of the, or you can say duodenum, gastro-duodenal pouch. So these are the other pouches related to that. Then you have to go to the water, that of the in the abdomen, on either side of the water, ascending colonna and the water descending colonna. Now on either side of the water, ascending and the descending colons, when you go, there you will be going to get, those are the called as the water paracolic pouch. That to paracolic pouch of the water ascending and paracolic pouch for the descending. They are there. They are the continued part of the water, that of the mesenterium, when it will be covering the medial aspect, anterior aspect, and the water lateral aspect of the ascending. Those are called as the paracolic pouch for the ascending. And left you can say part of the mesentery, when it covers the medial aspect of the descending and then into the water. Lateral part of the left lateral part of the descending, that is called as the water paracolic pouch for the descending. So those are the other pouches. Then 6, duodeno-pancreatic pouch. 7, pancreatico-duodenal pouch. 8, gastro-duodenal pouch. Then 9th, you will be having left, this is for descending, this is for ascending. So, two are there, here also two are there. Now you will be going to get the water coming down to the water that of the cecum. This is the water, terminal part of the ileum. This is the water cecum. Now on either side of the water that of the cecum, you have got the pouch. Now those are called as paracecal pouch. Then you have got the water behind when it will be going to join right part of the mesentery. After covering the front part and the water, medial part and lateral part of the cecum, it goes behind and covers and then goes to the right iliac fossa. So that is called as retrocecal pouch. Then you will be having one more pouch, cecoileal or iliocecal pouch. Cecal pouch. Iliocecal pouch. Then this iliocecal pouch you will be having the superior and then you have got the inferior. Superior is formed by the water that of the, you can say, superior iliocecal to the water that of the cecum, and then the inferior iliocecal pouch is formed by the water to the vertical disposition of the visceral layer of the peritoneum, which will be running from the inferior part of the terminal to the cecum, where that small pouch is called as the inferior iliocecal pouch. This is the 13th. Then you will be having one more pouch. This is the appendix. From the water cecum to the water appendix, vertical disposition, the angulation between this cecoappendicular ligament to the water that of the cecum and the appendix, it is called as superior cecoappendicular pouch. Then